Hey guys, guess what? Rocket and I are here on a Monday morning to chat. It's Q&A, a little Q&A. So if you guys have questions, I'm here to answer them. But ultimately, I'm here to talk about all of the things that you need and maybe some of the things that you don't need but might want or might see other people having if you're looking at doing a triathlon. So, we should start with the basics. The basics being, what are we doing in a triathlon? We're swimming, we're biking, and we're running. And there's some in between stuff that we do in a transition area. So, what does that all mean? Well, I think it should come as no surprise that for swimming, we need some sort of something to go in the water. Um, so, clothing. I think, initially you might think, oh, I should wear a swimsuit, which there are plenty of people that do a triathlon use a swimsuit in the water. And I'm going to talk about like why you wouldn't want to do that. But it is a thing and people do it. So I'm not saying you can't. Um, so whatever you're going to wear in the water, but then of course we should have goggles. Goggles are going to help us see better, um, keep water from like in our eyes. Um, there are many types of goggles: tinted goggles, clear goggles, blue goggles. So like all of those things. But at the end of the day, like a pair of goggles. If we want to get into what are the best goggles, in different scenarios, we can definitely do that. But you want a pair of goggles that fit well and keep water out and um, yeah, allow a good field of vision. Um, and many people have their preferred goggles, and just because it's one person's preferred goggles doesn't mean it's going to be like the best goggle for you. So my recommendation is try some goggles. I highly recommend not going to Target in the kids section to find your goggles. I would go. I would go to your local tri store, swim shop. Those places are going to have a better selection. I mean, if you're looking for brands, all the same brands. Speedo makes great goggles. Um, you're not. They're going to be a little bit different. Most people in open water want a different goggle than they are doing competitive swimming with. Just because we're in the water a little bit longer than a 50-yard all out. But find something that's comfortable, that does the job, and is going to last. So, um, like I said, Speedo, Tier, Aquasphere. Um, I mean, there are other ones. There are some brands out there now that I think Lisa found one the other day that was like Swim Straight. I don't know what you pay for a pair of goggles that helps you swim straight. I think it sounds amazing. Um, do I think that's where, an entry level person should spend their money? No. If you're spending more than like $25, $30 on a pair of goggles, like if you've never done a triathlon before, um, yeah, maybe. I mean, if you've got the resources, great. Like, go for it. Um, but I'm gonna go straight to the like bare bones. What are the things you need? What are the very minimal things you need? So a pair of goggles. You don't necessarily need to be a $200 pair of goggles that allows you to swim straight or tell you what pace you're at. Um, so bare bones, here we go. Goggles, swim cap. Most races are going to provide a swim cap to you, but in the meantime, um, we should um, we should look. We should have a swim cap that we are training with. What are some specific stores in our area? Huh? Good question, Helena. I, you know what, I haven't shopped. I pretty much like know what I want. I've got everything I want, I need. But Um, Gear West is amazing now. They're not super close to us up in the North Metro. I know. I mean, at one point, um, now now bikes had some selection of goggles. I'm not really sure if they have that same selection anymore, but I know they did for a little while. Um, but you like literally like want to try them on. You want to try them before you buy them. And how do you try them on? You take the goggle out of the package. You like literally like press it up against your eyes. So don't put the strap on. Press it up against your eyes. Let it go. If it seals, even if it seals for like a second or two and then releases, if one releases, the other one holds, like that's a goggle that fits you. But if you press it up and it falls off, that is a goggle that is not fitting your face well. So find another goggle. Um, so goggles, hat, something to wear in the water. Now, yes, you can wear a swimsuit. Now, on the other hand, you have to remember we're going to get on a bike. So we're going to go into transition. We're going to grab our bike. We're going to get on our bike. So, so far, we need goggles, swim cap, something to wear in the water. We need a bike. We need a helmet. All right. We need some sort of footwear, bike shoes or running shoes. So not everybody has bike shoes. Hey, I just gave myself a thumbs up. Um, Not everybody has bike shoes, and that's okay. Like if you're just wearing running shoes, then you've got the run covered. If you are wearing bike shoes, now you need running shoes as well. So back to in the water. We have to remember we're going to get out of the water and then we're going to go sit on our bike and we're going to ride our bike for 13 miles, 25 miles, 56 miles, whatever your distance is. So really, like what happens with a swimsuit is, especially for females, there's just not much coverage down there, like where we're sitting on the saddle. So it becomes an issue of like not being very comfortable. Um, so I would recommend, like I would highly recommend tri shorts. So even if you don't get a tri top, at least get, oh my gosh, I'm giving myself thumbs up all over the place today. Um, so um, even if, like I said, even if you're not going to wear, um, try, you're not going to wear, if you're not going to wear a tri top, at least get the shorts because you can just throw any top over, like for women especially, like you can wear a sports bra in the water and then just your tri shorts. Um, Guys, you don't have to worry about the sports bra, so now you can just wear your tri shorts in the water and then get out, put a t-shirt on so you've covered your upper body. We have to be covered. Our upper body has to be covered. Um, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a full sleeve or anything, but you got to put something on in order to go out for your bike ride. So, um, so tri shorts are great. Um, and the difference between a tri short and a bike short is the chamois. And the chamois is the crotch area, like how how much padding is there. Everybody thinks they want a bike short. Now, the problem with a bike short is when it gets wet, it's like a literally like a wet diaper. Um, and you think about like how comfortable is a wet diaper going to be on while you're sitting on your bike for that 13 or 25 or however many miles you're going to be on your bike, you might think that might not be that comfortable. And you're right. Fine when they're dry, that chamois is dry. And then like take it one step further and think about running and that running with that bike short on. Again, not necessarily your best choice. So tri shorts are absolutely amazing. And if you're looking for some really awesome tri shorts, um, Caleb has Caleb has made a great design for the Tri Fitness community. We have tri kits that are available um, for sale, and if you want to take a look at what we've got available, just send us a note. Send Caleb a note. Caleb, Caleb, at tfcoachingmn.com. And he'll send you all the information as far as like what we've got available to order. And in a few weeks, we're going to open up a store so you guys can just pop on and order them. Anyway, moving on. So, necessary things. We're at past the swim now. Like I said, bike, helmet. Those are, and then some sort of footwear. In addition to that, I would highly recommend a water bottle, because we're on the bike long enough between being in the water and not drinking, and then being on the bike. Like at some point, we're going to want some sort of hydration. So a water bottle. Um, I would absolutely also put a towel in transition. That towel in transition. The reason for that is number one, you can set your little shoes and other gear on that little towel and becomes your own little space. That's everything that you're going to need for your race that morning. Um, the towel also serves as another purpose. You come out of the water, run up to your bike, you're going to put your shoes on, whether it's bike shoes or running shoes. If you're wearing socks, you've come across like whatever surface, not necessarily, your feet aren't necessarily clean or dry. So the towel, you can get your feet on there, like dry them off, make sure there's no sand, no dirt, anything, and then you can put your socks and shoes on. Got it? The other thing that you're gonna want on the bike is I would highly recommend, and I always recommend, besides a helmet, wear sunglasses. They make you look cool. Okay, well they make you look cool, but more importantly, they protect your eyes. Um, And the main thing there is you're on roads with cars. Things happen like gravel, rocks, as cars go by, can get kicked up, and the glasses will save that. Also, of course, just sun, just protecting your eyes from the sun or helping you see better, going into the sun. So I don't think that sunglasses need a big explanation. I think we know what they are. I think we know what their purpose is. But um, like I said, especially biking, we want them just to help, keep our eyes safe. Um, Things outside of those things that are like, well, I could have. So we talked about the tri shorts. They're also tri tops. Tri tops are going to, like, just like the tri shorts, they're going to be quick drying. Um, they're made, to unzip. So, and when we start to get warm, like, so we've gone from the swim to the bike, and now we're on the run, and it's a little bit warmer out because it's a little bit later out. We start to build heat more quickly on the run than we do in the other two disciplines. So the tri-tops have a little zipper, and it allows you to just cool yourself down a little bit better. And like I said, they look cool, and they dry quickly. So by the time you get, by the time you're, most of the time, unless it's raining, by the time you get through your bike, it's dry, and now you're running in something that's dry. Um, Outside of that, like I said, we talked about the towel bucket. Some people like to bring a bucket to transition. And why do they bring a bucket? Um, because they like to sit on the bucket and put their shoes on, while they're in transition. So they're not trying to like stand up and put a shoe on or a sock on. Clothing is really hard to put on when you are wet. Just try it, get out of the shower, and like without drying off, just try putting your socks on and your shoes on. Like it just becomes a thing. So people like to just sit on a bucket, get their socks on, get their shoes on, and off they go. Um, some people will even have like a little bucket in their transition area that has a little bit of water in it. Same thing, like they step in it, they dry their feet off, um, and then they um, put their dry their feet off, then they put their socks and shoes on. So um, I've not ever found that to be a necessary item, but I know some people like it. So if we're talking about all of the other things, those are like one of the all of the other things. Um, Wetsuit. Let's talk about wetsuits. Why do people wear them? Do I need one? Do you need one? Not necessarily. Like no triathlon is going to be say like, well, no, I take that back. There are some water temperatures where it is like wetsuits are required. Um, there aren't many around here. Like lake temperatures are warm enough that you don't require them. But I will tell you that wetsuits do a number of things. They keep you warmer. So when the water is cooler, like now, you're going to stay warmer if you have a wetsuit. So in the spring and in the fall, it's going to keep you in the water longer on both of those ends, right? The other thing is wetsuits are very buoyant. So there is a comfort, right? So now, um, if you're if you're a person that is slightly more anxious in the water, you know that if you stop like and stop moving, like you are going to be buoyant in the water without really expending any more energy. I do this test with everybody every year. When they have a wetsuit on, I just say, lay on your back and just relax. And everybody like floats. It's like magic. Um, so wetsuits provide that. Now, the other thing that wetsuits do, because of what they're made of, they are actually faster in the water. If you look at pros, um, you will never see one pro that is not wearing a wetsuit, and all of the rest of the pros are. Pros wear wetsuits because they know they are faster with them. So it does not mean that you need one. So, especially if it's your first one, I say, it depends on your budget. You can always rent a wetsuit. So you don't have to buy one, you can always rent them. So just hop on, you can go any number of places, just Google wetsuit rental, and they'll pop up. You can get them for 3 days, a week, and if you're going to do something like that, get it in advance of your race. Like, don't get it the day before and think, oh, this is going to be amazing. Like, try it before race day. And preferably not the day before race day, because what if it doesn't fit right? The what ifs, right? So get it a couple weeks before the race, send it back, make sure you have it back. Or if you're like, yeah, that was a total game changer, I want to buy one and it's in my budget, do it. All right. Um, so, I could do an entire talk about wetsuits, sleeveless versus full sleeves. Um, you know, People have different preferences there. Some people feel like full sleeve wetsuits are really decrease their mobility. They just don't feel like they have the freedom in their shoulders. Now, I would challenge that a little bit. I mean, if you have a wetsuit that doesn't fit you well, or you didn't pay very much for it, wetsuits are just like anything else. If you buy like the base model, it's what you get. If you get the Cadillac version, then you're going to get all of the benefits of the Cadillac or whatever, right? Um, so all I'm going to say, like, if you are going to buy a wetsuit, and I made this mistake my first time, um, bought a wetsuit because it was cheap. And yes, it was cheap, and I'm not a great swimmer. Whatever, I got through the swim, and then I decided I loved it. So who knows how much I paid for my first wetsuit. But a year later, I was buying another wetsuit. I could have just saved whatever money I spent on that, like, crappy wetsuit, like the base model, and I could have just upgraded and bought, that next one immediately. And I would have had then I stayed in that wetsuit for years. Um, so like I said, some people prefer sleeveless. Sleeveless are nice when it gets really warm, because full sleeve, obviously, now you've got more that is keeping you warm. And so in warm temperatures, some people overheat with those full sleeve wetsuits. Um, all right. Other things, sunscreen, Body Glide. I talked about Body Glide last week, I think. I think it was last week, and how I wished I had stock in Body Glide. Bring Body Glide with. It's going to help, like, make sure you put it like at your neck. Use the Body Glide on any areas that may potentially chafe later in the race. I use it on my forearms, on my legs, just to help me get my wetsuit off a little more quickly. If you haven't had the pleasure of taking a wetsuit off, it is not as painful as putting a wetsuit on. It feels like an act of God to get a wetsuit on sometimes. And if it goes on easily, it's the wrong size. Um, and getting a wetsuit off, like, it is great, like, easy until you get to those, like, little areas where your wrist is, like, smaller than your hand and your feet are smaller than your ankles. Then they become like a force to be reckoned with. Like, I don't know, like, you're never gonna get out of that vice grip. So the Body Glide helps. Um, we talked about shoes on the bike. If you're wearing bike shoes, you got to bring them. Um, you don't have to wear, like, if you are not clipping in, then wear your running shoes. So again, the bike shoes are just that next level. You're like, okay, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable clipping in, or I want to get more power out of my bike. I'm going to get bike shoes and I'm going to clip in. Okay. So now it becomes just another thing. Again, it's not a need, but it is the bike shoes are a definite advantage over a shoe on a platform pedal. Just because you have, like, you can now, like, do a full pedal stroke versus a push, 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 push. Now you get to do the push pull, push pull, push pull. All right. So that's the advantage of a bike shoe and being clipped in. Um, Other things, race belt. What's a race belt? It's a handy little, like, stretchy thing that you put your race number on. And why is that convenient? Because at some point, like, we have to have our race number on us. So even if you don't have to have your race number on you for the bike, you have to have it on you for the run. You're not necessarily going to want that race number pinned to you because maybe you just spent $60 on a tri-top and you don't, and those little pins put holes in our tri-tops. The other thing is you're not going to want to swim with your race number on, especially if it's pinned on. Like, it's, number one, it's drag, and number two, it doesn't look cool. Um, but you're in the water, so who's really looking outside of, like, when you come out of the water? But then you don't look cool. But on top of that, again, you know, race numbers are not meant to be, like, submerged for long periods of time. So by the end of the race, like, that race number is basically disintegrated, and nobody can tell who you are, and they want to take pictures. So um, the race belts are like $15. So I don't know, cut something out of your weekly life and grab a race belt. Hat. A hat is nice, especially, like, obviously when you're running, when it gets hot out, like, having that hat just for coverage, but also, and on hot days, you can put ice in it and put it back on your head and it'll keep you cooler. So besides the natural protection of the visor, you can use it for cooling mechanism, as a cooling mechanism. Nutrition. Um, um, Nancy, I'm not really sure. I don't remember wearing it swimming. Oh, well, yeah, you don't have to have your race number on when you're swimming. Yeah, that's the idea. You don't have to. You have to have your race number when you're out for the run. Most races don't even have you wear it for the bike. Some do. I had to wear it at Ironman last year. But you don't have to wear it on the bike, but you absolutely have to have it on the run. You have to have it when you cross your finish line. So again, if you have a race belt, like, at some point, if you don't have a race belt, you've got to figure out, like, how to pin your number to you. Now, if you chose to wear just tri shorts and you have that shirt that has your race number in transition, that I have seen. But again, like race build is $15 and you can use it for all of your running races and your triathlons. So um, they're super cool. So all right, nutrition for any distance race. If it's going to be over an hour, um, I would um, highly re- highly recommend some sort of nutrition. And by this, I'm talking about gels or shot blocks or something that you've tried during training. Helena just asked if there will be Tri-Fitness hats available at some point. If Lisa has her way, yes. Yeah, we're working on it. We're just trying to figure out like what vendor source we're going to use. Um, so thank you for that. Um, so nutrition, again, something that you've used um, during training, and nutrition is something that's easy to digest, easy to put in, easy to digest. It's your fuel. Um, yeah, so it was your idea, Lisa. Those are a great idea. It was your idea. You're funny. Um, and we've already talked about a water bottle. I've even seen people where, instead of the bucket where they like dip their feet in, I've had people bring an extra water bottle with water and they just squirt their feet down, um, and use that to, yes, you are funny, Lisa. Um, they squirt their feet down. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nancy. I can't wait to hear your idea. Okay, you squirt your feet down with that water bottle and you dry them off on the towel and away, and put your socks and shoes on and away you go. All right, so you can use a water bottle for wiping or for washing your feet off, but then you can also have that another water bottle on your bike. Okay, um, depending on how warm the race is going to be, you may or may not want to have like a handheld for the run. Most races have aid stations, so you don't necessarily need it. But um, you know, some people just need more water, and if it's really warm, aid stations there just aren't enough, and they aren't close enough, and they're not always where you want them. So if you're carrying a little handheld, now you're set. When you get to your aid stations, you can refill or pass it by if you're like, I'm good, I got my own. Um, the final thing that I've got is a transition bag. So what is a transition bag? It is like your little bag where you put all your tricks in it, right? It's relatively large. Had I thought about it, I would have grabbed one from our little storage area, our little secret hiding space over here. Um, but there's usually a transition bag is basically like a backpack, but you can put all of your gear in it, your running shoes, your bike shoes, your wetsuit. You can put towel, like all of the things. They have all of the pockets. So they are like super, um, they're just super helpful. So you're not carrying like plastic bags into transition. Um, you have one bag for all your gear, and most bags have like little spots for all of your things. So like all of the things I've already listed. So if you want, we've got some Tri Fitness transition bags available for sale. We'll throw them up on our website. Show you how cool they are. If you're one of the if you order it early enough, we can even get your name embroidered on it. So um, okay, so let's see. Anything I missed? Nancy, I sat on the bucket. However, I think, yep, it might make for a long transition if you get too comfortable on that bucket. Yep. So Yeah, I mean, like I said, some people do, and some people, instead of then a transition bag, they put all their things in that bucket. They carry the bucket in with their bike, and that's what they use. I find the bags super. Then you fell off of it. Maybe you should have gotten a different bucket. Or maybe that was your first year and you hadn't done enough core work, but uh, we'll keep working on those things, Nancy. Anyway, um, all right. So that's those are the list of things that I'm going to recommend. If you are, we can also put this list up on our little page. Um, I don't know. Can we do that, Lisa? I'm the one that says we can do it, but then she's the one that's like, yeah, we can't really do that. So can we or can't we? Okay, I'm gonna say we can until I hear we can't, but I think we can. And she has mad skills, so I'm gonna say we can. All right, so here's the deal. Yep. Oh, look it. Oh yeah. Yes, please. Okay. All right. So we got it. We're gonna get it out there for you guys. Thank you, Lisa, for making sure that all of my great ideas actually come to fruition. Um, I appreciate you. Um, and let's see. Oh, next week. It's this weekend is Memorial Day, everyone. So I want you guys to all. That was not good timing. Anyway, um, all right. So next Monday, this weekend is Memorial Day. This weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Next Monday is Memorial Day. Although we will have some classes in here. I will not be doing my live on Monday, but instead on Tuesday we'll be doing a live, and I have a very special guest on Tuesday, and that very special guest is it's Jake from Back Solutions, and Jake is going to talk to us about this really amazing tool that his buddy developed for anybody that has low back pain, hip pain, um, glute pain, any of those things. Uh, I know Lisa will make me use it because I am a pain in the ass. So, okay, that was funny. So anyway, Jake is going to be here. I want you guys to join in. He's going to talk about, and we're going to demonstrate the the little tool that they have developed, and um, and then the following week we are going to do a free clinic in here. So that's it's Tuesday night. I believe it's 5 o'clock. Free clinic for anybody, any of you that have had back pain, hip pain, glute pain, any of those, and more. Come on in and um, try it out. There's no pressure. There's no cost. Just come in and try it out. They want to get as many people on this as possible. I've had a number of clients on it, and every single person has talked about how much it has helped them. So we want to take care of you. So join us next Tuesday for the infomercial, and while we do our live, and then we're going to get on it. We want to get you guys on it so you can experience it yourself the following week. Okay. You guys have a safe and fun week and weekend, and then I'll see you next Tuesday. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.